Hi, my name is Dawn Evans, and I'm going to talk today about teen suicide. Suicide can happen to anyone at any age, any gender, any social or economic class. Teen youth suicide rates have tripled since 1970. That is a huge increase in suicide. Being a teen definitely is not easy today. Teens go through many different changes, from emotional, academic, and physical changes, just to name a few. Some of these changes are very overwhelming and very stressful for our teens. They can lead to depression, and that is the major underlying factor of teen suicide. Some teens may be predisposed to depression and/or suicide. Some of these risk factors would include a family history of depression or suicide, substance abuse of both legal and illegal drugs and alcohol, growing up in a violent household, mental issues, learning disabilities, emotional, physical, sexual abuse, just to name a few. Some factors that aren't predisposed that can be a contributing factor to teen suicide. Bullying, that's a huge factor right now for all of our teens growing up. Now, some of these factors do not mean that your teen is considering suicide, but it can contribute if they do have a history of depression. Per the Center for Disease Control, teen suicide is the third leading cause of death among teens. The third. That's too high. The top leading cause of death is automobile accidents. The second is homicide. And the third, again, is teen suicide. Teen suicide is completely preventable. There are signs to help recognize that a teen is heading down a path of hopelessness. Per teensuicide.us, some behaviors that may be a sign your teen is considering suicide. They express thoughts of death, dying, of leaving this life. You see them on the computer looking up anything about death, asking you about death. Big warning sign there. Changes in the normal habits, such as eating and sleeping, wanting to spend more or less time with friends and family. Dramatic weight fluctuations. Maybe they put on a lot of weight, maybe they lost a lot of weight. Loss of interest in things that they love. Hanging out with friends, school, extracurricular activities. Just a little diagram of a brain showing different things that teens consider when they're thinking of suicide. Toxicity, double blind, bullying. Bullying is a big factor right now. Loss, physical impairment, maybe they had an injury. Emotional anorexia, oppression, lack of sleep, unresolved childhood abuse, racism, undiagnosed mental illness, exhaustion, sense of failure. Some teens, maybe they broke up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That can be devastating for them and can cause serious depression and no longer wanting to keep their life. Now, we all know that teens go through phases trying to find their identity. So just because your teen may exhibit one or two of these signs does not mean that they're considering suicide. You want to look for a pattern. Take notes. Document when you see these things happening. You don't want to confuse normal teenage behavior with teen suicide and depression. But if at any time you're unsure, you do want to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. If the teen is suicidal, they're going to need to know that you care and that you're going to be there for them. They need to know that you're willing to help them find hope again in life, that It's worth living. It's worth continuing to be with us. Talk to your teen. Per yellowribbon.org, it is okay to ask for help. Asking for help is not failing. It is part of being human. A lot of our teens think that asking for help makes them look weak. That's not true. Let your teen always see you asking for help when it's needed. That way they know it's okay. So if they start to feel this way, they will come to you so you can help them resolve whatever issue they're having so they don't go down that devastating road of suicide. Not only will the teen need support, but you, your family, your teen's friends will also need support as well. There are excellent resources, and if you do need immediate assistance, if it is a crisis, your teen is ready to commit suicide right now, call the crisis line 1-800-SUICIDE. Other great resources, yellowribbon.org, National Institute of Mental Health, American Pediatric Association, Youth Suicide Prevention Program, and of course your local doctor. In closing, the Center for Disease Control states that 14% of high school students seriously consider suicide. 14%. That percentage is way too high. They say that 6% attempt suicide. Very scary statistics. But teen suicide is preventable. Listen to your teen. Have an ongoing relationship. Look for the signs and seek help. Thank you.